right, everyone. Good morning. I am Nick Zituni, and going against my comment there in the chat, no technical issues at all. Love technology sometimes, right? So, welcome to the conference. I am extremely happy to be here. And today, I prepared for you a little bit of Scratch block coding. A few housekeeping matters that I want to address before we get into. Scratch is free. So if you are ever thinking of like, oh my God, how can I learn coding for free? Scratch is your way. Oh, but I think Scratch, it might be a little too basic for me. I want to learn, but then I'm going to go for a different computer language. Can I? Yes. Scratch is one of the best platforms to allow you to get this basic knowledge, understanding the blocks, and then going into harder coding languages like Python, Java, or whatever. Third, what can I do on Scratch? Literally and virtually anything, guys. People on Scratch, they create games, they create short movies, they create art pieces. It's an extremely flexible platform, and literally you can do anything that your mind can think of. All you gotta do is master the code and get coding. And I am not sure if some of you had a chance to see the poll down there, but I would love to hear from you your level of coding. Why is that? Because if most people here are beginners, as usually goes, then I'll do something very basic. But if there's a lot of people who actually has some intermediate or even advanced block coding skills, I'll try to bring a little bit of a complexity at the end of the session, right? So I'll give you guys a few minutes there just to say something on the chat or basically answer the survey there for us, all right? There's some questions here from Leonardo. Yes, this is K-4. Okay, we have some beginners, we have some intermediates, we have one advanced. I'll give you guys just a few seconds. And yes, Leonardo, you can still join, no problem. It's all good. Okay, just a few more seconds for the poll to end. Okay, this is good to go. I'll have a lot of beginners coming in now. Woohoo! All right, it seems that we have like a 50-50 that keeps alternating between beginners and intermediates, and only 2 advanced for now. So no big deal. Again, I will try to give you guys the basics of Scratch just so everyone is aware. And then I'll get a little bit more into the intermediate stuff and then a little bit of the advanced. All right. I'm sorry for the advanced people out there. I need to start from the basics. All right. So let's get going. Just in case you guys want to follow what I'm going to be doing, as you can see in my screen, there is the Scratch website. Okay. And here is the link in case you guys want to click and follow. All right. There are 2 ways for us to do that, my friends. The very first one is you create your own account, and then you can save your projects. You can make sure that everything that you're doing will be in your folder, and then you can share with your friends and whatnot. How to do that? I'll quickly navigate you with a few tips that I use in all of my classes, just so you are aware of. All right. So if you want to join Scratch, have your own account, you're going to click here, join Scratch. All right. And then you're going to have to pick a username and a password. Now, my experience says that it's really hard to find a username. My name is Nicholas. There we go. Username not taken. Nicholas 1, taken. Nicholas 12, taken. So I usually like to go for my nickname, surname, and the ear, for example. That usually works. And then you need to create a password. I've been doing Scratch in over 10 schools, guys, in 2 years. And let me tell you, that is one of the hardest parts. Most kids that I teach, they tend to forget their password after day one. My suggestion to you is to go with something extremely simple. I always tell my students to use hello 123. It works most of the time, right? So hello 123, and then click next. It's going to start asking you a lot of questions that you really don't need to worry about, like the country that you live. I live in Canada, but I'm just going to put some random here. Here, the year that I was born. I was born in 84. I'm very old. Gender, if you want to answer. You don't have to if you don't. And then your email address. Why are they asking for your email address? Simple. Because if you lose your password, you can try to recover through the Scratch recovery system, right? If you don't have an email address, strongly encourage you to ask your parents for one. All right? And then you create your account. I'm not going to create it. Just going to go back to the beginning. I'm just going to sign in on my account right now. That's the one. Okay. And once you are signed in, you should be seeing something like this. All right? That's Scratch initial screen after you're logged in. A few tips before we start coding freestyle. Oh, Nick, I am not really good at coding and I want to learn a lot because, I need those skills. What can I do? You can go here to ideas. All right. All these ideas will show you a little bit of tutorials, how to animate a name or how to make an instrument, how to animate a character. They have a lot of the basic stuff that basically goes all over most of Scratch blocks and how you can use them. All right. Great place for noobs or starters, whatever you want to call yourself, and amazing for you to get your feet wet. Once you're done with that, then you can start freestyling just like I am about to do right now. Let's go here on top and click on create. And then we will be taken to this screen here that is the Scratch coding screen. If it's the first time that you're doing that in Scratch, you might have a video pop up in this area here. And that video basically can be closed. Easy peasy. All right. So a few things that I want to make sure that all of you are aware. And the more you play with Scratch, the easier it gets. Okay. So on this side of the screen, the left side of the screen, you have the coding window or the coding tabs if you want. Beautiful thing about Scratch, color coded. All the blue codes are going to be related to motion. What is that? How your character moves, how your character will position itself into the canvas area, as I like to call it. Looks in purple, basically it's going to change how your character looks. Then you have sound, basically allowing your characters to emit some kind of sound. Events, very important ones. Those are the blocks that will allow your character to start doing something. If you play video game, it's kind of like the press start button. And then you have control, where you have a little bit of the advanced coding, like loops, if-else statements, and other different ones. All right. Sensing gets a little bit more to the intermediate/advanced side. It's basically ways for your character to feel what's going on around it and react. Operations, all about advanced coding, where your character will have to do reactions based in conditions that you establish. And then you have variables, very important. Variables can literally be anything. And if we have time, I'll explain a little bit to you. That can be a number of lives if you're creating a game. That can be a counter if you're creating an animation. Again, variables can literally be anything. And then you have your own blocks. I rarely explain my own blocks because they tend to get very complex. So we're not going to go there today. All right. What else do you need to know besides this? This middle area here, my friends, is where we're going to be putting the code. It's literally a drag and drop situation. If you are in a computer, you select the block that you want to put, you click in your mouse or your mouse pad, hold, and drag into this area here and release. Okay, let's do it again. If you're in your tablet, you tap, hold, drag, and drop. Now, Scratch works in a top-bottom kind of a coding language. All right? So, as you can see, those blocks are not connected, which means that there is no logical flow in what should happen. How do we fix that? By approaching the blocks till you see that gray zone in there, right? Once that gray zone appears, you release or stop holding your tap, and they connect. Once the blocks are connected, that's when the blocks will be like, okay, there's a logic flow. I will start with the very first block, and then I'll go to the second block. Okay? And basically, this big white area here is where we're going to be putting all our code for today. Oh, Nick, I made a mistake. I put a block that shouldn't be there. How do I delete it? You get whatever block you want. I'll get both of them, right? You click on the top, and then you drag back here. Release. The code is deleted. All right? Alternatively, if you want to delete, you can always the right click with your mouse and delete block. Cool. Let's move back here to our right-hand side where you can see this beautiful Scratch cat in here. This is what I like to call the canvas. This is going to be our screen where we will see what's happening in our animation or our game. That's where we can simulate to see if our code is working correctly. All right. And if you have any of the characters here, once you click on the character, you can actually move it around. All right. And then in this part here, you have all the editing of the character. You can rename the character. You can work with the coordinates, the X and Y coordinates, and change. But if you move, it tends to be a little easier. See, every time I move my sprite, my coordinates here change. Okay. You can make your character visible or invisible. I always like to make them visible. You can change the size. This is in percentage. So if you want to decrease the size, you go below 100. If you want to increase the size, you go above 100. Right? I'll just leave it 100. And then finally, you have the direction that's basically 360 spin that you can do with your character. The standard is 90. Okay. Now, we're going to do a quick, very simple game/animation today. It can be both. And I want you guys to first select your cat sprite here. See, it is highlighted in blue. And then we're going to tap or click into this garbage bin on the top right side of the cat. And then the cat disappears. Cool? Now, I want you guys to learn how to add a new sprite and a background. Sprite is how we call the characters, by the way. It's how we call the cats. So those two buttons here, the very first one with the cat face in it, it's actually add a sprite. And then the second one is add a backdrop. That's basically going to be the scenario where our game/animation will be. All right. So I first want to add a sprite. So click in here, and you're going to be taken to this huge world of sprites. Our game, guys, animation will be kind of where you as a character will have to dodge cars if you want. Or if you want to go in a jungle, then you might be, I don't know, a dragonfly that's dodging other birds, right? Or butterflies. I really don't mind whatever you guys want to do. We're basically going to be selecting characters that you like to create your own story and to create your own game. Just because in my mind I want to do in a city, then I will select a car. I'm going to select convertible. And here is my car. All right. But then I need to select a character that's going to be kind of a dodging the cars. So I'm going to add a new sprite. And then I'm going to pick a character. And I will pick, let's just say, I want to pick Dan. There you go. And then I have Dan here. If for any reason you guys need to go back, I see that Liam is asking. There is this arrow here. Okay, saying to go back. You just click on it and then you are out of the sprite selection menu. Second thing, adding a backdrop. Just a second button here. All right, click on it and there's going to be a world of backdrops that you can choose. Very important piece of advice here, guys. If you are creating a game or a story, the ambiance, the environment, the backdrop is very important. You can, of course, create like a underwater environment with dragons and butterflies. Again, it's your game. You do whatever you want to do, right? But I like to make sure that things at least make a little bit of sense. So since I'm having a person and a car, I'm going to get a city environment, right? Let's see what cities I have here. I have colorful city, and I have one with a big street. Night City. There you go. I'm going to get Night City here. Okay. And this is basically what I have. Now, big guy here, Big Dan, it's a little too big for my scenario. So I will decrease his size. And I want him to be very, very small. I'm going to put his size up to 30%. There we go. Big Dan is in here. Okay. And I want the car to be slightly smaller too. So I'm going to decrease the size to 80%. There we go. And I'm going to position them in this locations, right? I'm going to position my car outside here. And then I'm going to position them in the middle of the scenario. You might be thinking, oh, Nick, I know that already. This is too basic. Teach me something new. I will. But positioning your sprites, selecting your right sprites, and even your backdrop, again, they are very, very important for the success of your game or animation, right? You need to set up the stage nice so you can finally start coding with no issues. Otherwise, you might be going back and forth, back and forth. Oh, my God, I coded Dan wrong. I don't want to code Dan. I'm going to code Amelia now. And so on, right? If you guys are good to go, we will continue, all right? And now for the coding part itself. So one thing that I want to let you guys know is if you click on Dan, you're going to see that there is a Dan picture in this area here. That means that we are currently coding Dan. If you click on the car, you're going to be seeing a car icon here. That means that we are coding the car. All right. So I'll start with Dan just because Dan's coding will be fairly easy. All right. So I need to make Dan move. But I also want to make sure that Dan talks to whomever is playing the game before the game really starts. Okay. So I will go all the way here to events, yellow bubble, click in here. And again, events are the classic press start button. They are ways where the user, you, me, can interact with the computer, the program. All right. So the very first block that I'm going to get here is when the green flag is clicked. That is your classic press start button. As soon as the game starts, as soon as I click the green flag is this icon here, something will happen. All right. So I'm going to get this here. And there are two things that I want it to happen. First things first, since I'm going to be moving Dan around, I want to make sure that every time that I press the green flag, I will reset Dan's position to where Dan is. How can I do that, Nick? Go to motion, all right? The blue circle all the way there. And then I'm going to get this block here called go to, and then the coordinates on X and Y. All right? I'm going to get and drop it in here. They're connected. And as you can see, if I click here on Dan, this is Dan's initial position. X at -9 and Y at -144. Now, just so you guys understand what this code is telling us, and that's very important. A lot of people, they don't understand the code. They just do it for instinct, right? So let's just say that I am going to put Dan all the way here. But as soon as I click the press start button, my green flag, Dan is going to go all the way back to his original position. All right? So this is basically what we're telling the computer to do for us. Every time you click the green flag, Dan will reset to his initial position. Cool? Now again, it's going to be kind of a game. And a game needs a little bit of an ambiance, of a storyline, right? Let's go to looks. And let's go for say hello for 2 seconds. I'm going to click, drag and drop. All right. And the funny thing and the good thing about Scratch is all those white bubbles here, guys, you can actually edit, right? So I don't want them to say hello. I wanted them to say, I am late for my game night. And then he is going to say that for 2 seconds. Again, you can continuously add more speech bubbles as you want. Like I'm going to do this right now. I'm going to add another one. I need to hurry. And guess what's going to happen when I press my green flag? I'll even maximize it so you guys can see. Green flag. I'm late for my game night. I need to hurry. All right. And that's it. Dan now has a context. Dan has a speech bubble. Now we need to make Dan move. Very, very simple. We're going to go to events again. And we're going to get this thing here. When space key is pressed. We're going to get 4 of those. All right. 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're going to change space for up arrow, down arrow, left arrow, and right arrow. Let me reorganize those things. Okay. Now, we're going to add some movement to Dan. All right. How to do that, Nick? Go to motion. And then we are going to tell him then to move up, down, left, or right. How do we do that? Very, very simple. We need to change up and down on Dan or left and right. This we can do by using this command here. Change Y and change X. I'm not sure if you guys learn your coordinates yet, but the X-axis means up and down. Positive numbers means going up. Negative numbers means going down. And the Y, oh, sorry, that's vertical. So X is actually left and right. So the positive X goes to the right. The negative X goes to the right. There you go. Thanks, Alex. Yep. And Y is actually up and down. Positive Y goes up. Negative Y goes down. So how do we do this? I'm going to duplicate because I'm going to be using 2 of them. All right. And up, I'm going to change my y by 10. Down, I need to change my y, but by minus 10. All right. And then same thing. Left is negative, so it needs to be minus 10. And then right arrow, plus 10. Let me maximize here. I'm pressing my right, I'm pressing my left, I'm pressing my up, I'm pressing my down. Okay. You just created your own remote control using your own keyboard. Simple as that. Right? So that's it for Dan for the basic stuff. Let's go for the car. Okay. So I want the car to basically be not showing. I want the car to be invisible at first, right? So invisible, basically you can go here to looks and you can click on hide. But hide needs a proper command for it to happen. And that's when we can go here to events. Okay. Again, or even better, we're just going to hide the car here. See, the car is invisible. So now every time that I click the green flag, I'm actually going to ask my car to show. All right. So there's no car, but I'm going to click the green flag. Boom. The car is there. All right. Let's make the car invisible again. My idea of my game, guys, is to make the car to be driving on the street constantly. And the constant thing here we call on control loops. There are basically two types of loops in coding. There is repeat loop, that is you say, hey, you do this a specific amount of times. Scratch basically defaults to 10. Or you can do a forever loop. As the name implies, forever will be happening forever, all the time, right? There we go, yes. So I'm going to get a forever loop. And I'm going to connect my forever loop here with show. All right? What do I want those cars to do? I want the car to go all the way from one space to here, where the car is, to the other space here. But we all know that my car is already here. So I just need to tell my car to, hey, go all the way, disappear, come back from the initial position, and go back again. How to do that? Motion. And then you can see move. You can see glide. There's a lot of ways for you to make your car to move. The way I want, and the smoother way, it's actually glide. Move, this very first block here, works kind of like a teleport. Glide, this is a smooth way that you can see the car traveling, right? So I want my car to glide from its position here all the way to here. And those are the new coordinates that I need to put. So it's going to be 226 and minus 53. There we go. Okay. And just for the sake of good measure, I will, as soon as I start, I want my car to go to its original position when it starts. Okay, so every time I will click the green flag, regardless of where my car will be, it will show up, and then it will go to this position. Okay, and then the same thing. I will duplicate the scope. Oops, a little too much. I will gonna get this. Glide 1 second to that position, and then go back to its initial position. Let's see what's happening here. Clicking my green flag. Look, the car is going, and the car continuously keeps going appearing and disappearing. All right. Let's stop. A little too fast for you? Not a problem. You can change this glide 1 second to, for example, 2 seconds. Look. And the car is much slower. This is how you can set up the speed and the difficulty of your game. All right. Let's go back. All right. But I think that one car is not really good enough. I think one car is very easy for me to dodge. So why don't we do 2 cars? All right. How to do that, Nick? You can do literally the whole work again. I have some questions. Just give me a second. Siddharth said it's possible to move the background. Unfortunately, not. The background stays still. Okay. Going back here, you can start over. You can select a new sprite. You can repeat the coding. It's all good. But there is an easier way. The easier way is for you to go here to the car, click with your right button in the mouse, and click on duplicate. And now I have 2 cars, right? But I want this second car, for example, to go to the opposite way. I want the car to go crossing. So there's a trick that actually took me forever to discover, guys. How to flip the car. Sorry, Shivy, yours is not moving. Shivy, check out my code here, please. Okay, so your car needs to be in one specific position, in one set of coordinates, and it needs to move to a different set of coordinates. See, those are my new coordinates here. Those are my initial coordinates, and those are my final coordinates. That's what makes the car move. Another difference is, in order for your car to move smoothly, you need to use the glide command. Okay. Yes, Sai, we're going to change the color of the car. I will show you guys right now. Shivy, give it a shot and let me know if you're having any issues there. All right. So with the second car selected, I want you guys to go all here to this tab called costumes. And then it's going to bring a kind of a paintbrush version of Scratch. First thing, again, I want this car to go to the other side. All right. So all I need to do is flip. How? This thing here. See, you just click this button and the car changes its direction. You can do that vertically as well, but that's going to be weird for a car to be running upside down, right? As for painting, you can select the color that you want to paint here, right? It's literally just drag. I'm going to get my second car red, very red. And you can do things like, oh, I just want to paint. And you can do things like this. See, it looks awful, but again, you guys can do whatever you want, right? That's a free game for all. Or you can just paint the car. Fill in this bucket here. And as soon as you go around the car, you're going to see that the car has some fillable blocks, right? So if you select the right kind of a piece of the car, it's going to color that specific piece. So I want to color all of this. I want to color this. And I'll leave my car as it is. Once you're done, all you got to do is go back to code. All right. So now for Shivy, I will repeat the process for the red car. So maybe that will help you with your first car as well. All right. So Shivy, again, this whole code, the way we read is every time you press the green flag, the car that would be invisible, for example, will show. All right. And then I want this car to always start in the same position. And that position is going to be here. Okay. So you can see the coordinates on the X and Y axis in here. So this is my initial position. So on the first block, go to X and Y, you need to put those exact coordinates, 183 and minus 90. All right. And then you get a forever loop. And then you need to get this code here. Glide 1 second to your final position. Okay. So that's going to be my final position all the way in here. All right. I actually wanted to go 90. Oops, minus 90, sorry. That's when we need to change the gliding position. So as you can see, it's minus 193. So minus 193 and minus 90. And then this here should be the exact same as this here. 183 minus 90. Okay. This is for the red car. So give it a shot, see if it works. And meanwhile, I'm going to answer Siddharth. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. In order for you to make sure that the car is on the right position, you can always go to costume, right? And then you can flip the car. You need to select this, and then you flip horizontally or vertically. And I want the car to be that way. Yes. So what's going to happen now? I'm going to maximize it. As soon as I press my green flag, the cars will go to their initial positions and they're going to start running around. Okay? And that's when you can actually play with our friend Dan. Dan actually to move around, to go across the street. Oh, Nick, but Dan is getting hit by the cars and nothing is happening. Yes, we can make something happen. Don't worry about it. But before we move forward to the more intermediate level of things, give me an okay if your code is working as mine is. Okay? And if you have any questions, this is the time for you to ask. Perfect. Yeah. Alex just said that use repeat blocks to make Dan's movement smoother. You're absolutely right. Or you can even change. Let me go back to Dan here. Dan's movement here. You can increase to 20 instead of 10. And then if you do that, you're going to see that he moves much faster. And it gets much easier. See, all right, JP, how you make the car stop in between. Oh, I see what you mean. So you're literally moving the cars just like Dan, right? You don't make the Dan teleport. You make Dan move smoother. Yes, you're absolutely right. Mm-hmm. And JP, cars stop in between. If you press the stop button here, they usually stop. I hope that answers your questions. If not, just let me know and I will explain to you again. All right. So let's get going. I want every time Dan gets hit by a car for Dan to kind of make a weird pose and to do a weird sound. Okay, that's where things are going to get slightly complex because we need sprite to sprite interaction, right? So that's where I'm going to put this a little bit here. We're going to be using a little bit of the intermediate blocks that are what they called conditionals. All right. They are what you call in regular coding language, if then else. Conditionals are literally those things that your parents can do to you, right? I'm only gonna give you your allowance if you clean your room. You can only have extra dessert if you behave well today, right? Those are conditionals, and they work exact the same way in computer language. So you need to meet some criteria in order to activate the reward, for example, or the effect. In your parents' case, you will only get extra dessert if you clean your room. So free dessert is there, but you can only eat it if your room is clean. If your room is not clean, no dessert. All right? So I want to create a condition where if Dan is hit by any car, Dan will make a sound and then will change his position. All right? There's so many ways of doing that, guys. That's the beauty of coding. You can start creating a whole new thread of coding, or you can use pre-existing coding as I'm going to be doing right now. All right? So I'm going to get this here, the very first if diamond then on the control part of the block coding. And I'm going to put all the way back here. Okay, connected to I need to hurry for 2 seconds. Then I'm going to go to sensing. And I'm going to go to this thing here, the very first one, touching. And I'm going to put touching in here. As you can see, it's saying mouse pointer. We're going to change that to convertible to. Okay? And then this code saying if I touch the convertible to, something will happen. If not, things will go normal. What do I want it to happen? I want Dan to change his looks. All right? I want Dan to change his costume. And you can quickly check the costumes here. See? Dan has 2 costumes. Let's go back to code. I want Dan to switch his costume to B. And then I want Dan to return to his original position here. Okay, so I'm just going to do this quickly here just so I can duplicate this. But I also want Dan to make a sound. And this is where most kids love doing it. Okay, you can click on the sound circle here. And then you can play sound until it's done. And that's basically the one that we're going to be using it. And I'll put this in here just in case. Okay. So this, you can select whatever sounds you have, or you can actually record a sound. I'm just going to show you guys how to get a random sound, and then I'll record my own. And then I'll share my project with you guys so you can see how it worked. All right. If you have this sound thing here clicked, you can go to this tab on sounds. And it's just like adding a sprite. You can choose a sound in here. And guys, there's a lot of sounds that you can pick. Each sound has its own time, has its own idea of how it works. Some are very simple, some are longer, some are musical, some are like weird sounds. I will, however, record my own. How to do that, Nick? Oops, sorry. Go back here to code. Click in the down arrow here, and then you click on record. This is what should appear to you. If it doesn't, it means that you need to allow the microphone to be used by your browser. Usually there might be, if you're using Google Chrome, an icon here stating that you need to allow. If you're using Firefox, should be an icon somewhere around this side. And Internet Explorer, usually it's a whole message close to the address. Okay. How to record? Very simple. Press the record button and give it your best. And then you can basically edit your sound here. I want my sound to be like very sharp. And as soon as Dan is hit, I want my sound to happen right away. That's why I'm cutting this red region here. Okay, I'm going to save. And there is my recording here. And if you go back to coding, you can change your recording. Oh, sure, Mr. Marco. I'm teaching you guys how to record your own sounds right now. I hope that's where you stopped. All right. So let's go back here. I will leave this block here just for the sake of making my life easier. Just give me a little sec. Beautiful. Nothing like water doesn't heal, right? Sounds are here. This is the command that I want you guys to use. Play sound. The sound that's going to be there is going to be Dense Magic if you're using Den. Most of the sprites will have a pop sound to it, right? So I will get here the play song. I'm going to put it here in between. Again, you can put it anywhere. It doesn't matter. But I will put it in between just because I wanted the sound to be played. And after the sound plays, I will go back to my initial position, right? And then again, if you want to edit or see what other sounds Scratch has, you can go to this tab here called Sounds. You can click in Choose a Sound, and there will be a lot of sounds, from musical instruments that are very short to long musics. Really up to you. What I did, though, was to show you guys how to record. How do you do this? You're going to click here in this arrow, and then you're going to click on record. This is the window that you should be seeing. There are two things that might not show up for you, and that means that you need to allow the microphone and the camera to be used. If you're using Chrome, there should be a warning in this side of the screen here. If you're using Firefox, should be another warning in this side here. And usually Internet Explorer shows kind of a highlighted action that you need to take on the address bar. You click record. You record whatever you want. My last recording was actually kind of a cry of agony. And once you're done, you click stop. This here allows you to change the length, what you want to include in your recording. So if you just want to include this part here, you just drag those red bars, and this part will be deleted. Once you're done, hit save. And then you're going to have recording 1, recording 2. I'm going to delete recording 2 just because I want to use recording 1. And then once you have that recording, you can actually change in here, recording 1. All right. So I coded Dan to react to convertible 2. Oh, it's all good. Yeah. But now I want to code Dan to react to convertible 3 or convertible. Yeah, convertible 3. There we go. Again, you can do the code by yourself all over again, or you can be smart and you can copy and duplicate this here. And then basically you change from convertible 2 to convertible 3. All right. I'll show you guys what is happening on my end here. Let's click here. And then, dodging. Oh, look at this. Dan is not actually reacting to when the car hits him. Let me see what's wrong. Most important part of coding, guys, is troubleshooting. Just like I did. In theory, Dan should be reacting. But for whatever reason, Dan is not. So we need to understand what's really happening here. So if Dan, let's do this maybe. I'll try to create this in a separate instance in case this code was only working while Dan was talking. Let's see how that's going to work. Nope, Still not. So there's something wrong with the coding still. Let's see what I can do here. Just give me a quick second. Distance from mouse pointer, no. Touching. Oh, this should be right though. The troubleshooting, always classic when we receive this. Yeah, it should be a bug. I agree with you. There's something that should be working. My code here seems to be okay. Well, we can always do it the other way. Let's get those codes going to the cars, and let's see if I can make the car actually touch Dan and see if that's going to work. Right? So I have the codes here. And then I'm going to do this, but if touching Dan, let's see if this is going to work. This is car green. All right. Car green. This is a very interesting bug. Okay, we can go around this. In this last 9 minutes that we have, I will teach you guys how to go around this bug. Let me delete all those weird things first. Oh, the codes were connected to the green flag here. This one here for convertible green. You need to put that if inside repeat. Oh, you know what? That actually might be absolutely right. We actually need a forever loop happening in there. There we go. Let's see if that's going to work. Good job, guys. Woohoo! Alex, my man. Oh, but the car is going, not Dan. Because I am doing that on the car. Cool. So let's go back to Dan. Let's get a forever loop here going. And let's put, again, back in this. Oops. Great catch. Great catch. There you go. And Dan is getting hit all the time because he's touching the green car. So I need to change his position a little bit. So I want Dan to go all the way to 160, minus 160. And let's get started. Oh, look at that. Dan actually has his old costume. So we need to change his costume back every time we click the green flag. There you go. Then A. Perfect. Need to hurry. So if you, I died. And then click it again. Ta-da. Good job. Thank you very much, Mr. Alex, for the tip. And my question to you now in this last pretty much 7 minutes that we have is, oh yeah, you can't hear the sound because the way we share the screen here actually doesn't allow the sound to be added. Yes, Alex, if you had time, I would definitely go and add some score as well. Every time you move and decrease the score every time a car hits you. That's something very, very easy to make. But since we are pretty much at the end of our session, I would like to take this moment, this remaining pretty much 6 minutes, to answer questions or to help you guys out in whatever you need. So please ask questions. All right. Feel free again, guys. Just type into the box there for the chat if you want. I am actually from Brazil, but I'm living in Canada, Zoe. No worries, Sai. Glad that I could help. Few more minutes. Tulia, I saw that your computer had to restart. It might be a little too hard for me to show you everything from scratch. So I'm going to share my project here with you guys on the link, and then you can see all the codes that I have done, and then you can try to replicate it. All right. Okay, and I'm going to share. Mix object appearance. And that's it. I'm going to copy the link. Copy link. There we go. Let's see inside. Okay, so Liam, you just asked about how to do the sound. You go here to sound. You grab this block here called played sound, right? And then you can go here on sounds and actually pick a sound from this button. Again, there are infinite sounds that you can pick. Or you can record your own sound by clicking on record. And then you click here, say whatever you want to say. Once you're done, you click stop. You can use this red bar here to literally get specific parts of your sound. Once you're done, click save. And then you're going to have your sound recorded here. Sounds good? Now, since we're almost done, guys, I just want to quickly make some propaganda and advertising about the company here. Woohoo! So I am the head of operations from Coded Minds here in Canada. Coded Minds is a big company. We are in over 8 countries, but the eastern side of the world, in Malaysia, Pakistan, and whatnot, they're actually doing rebranding, and they will soon be called Jungle. And we here in Canada will be Coded Minds still. We provide what we call iSteam experiences to students. Most of the times, if you're going to a regular school that doesn't have a lot of those resources, you will not be exposed to the things that we teach, like robotics, circuitry, coding, virtual reality. I don't know if you guys have yours, but I actually have my Oculus from Facebook here that I'm actually teaching design courses on it every here and there. And I'm not going to lie, it's pretty amazing. But we don't do teaching just for the sake of teaching. And this might be good for all the parents if the parents are actually listening, right? We do teaching for a purpose. We use a design thinking in a project-based style where we want to make sure that your children, you guys, will be learning something that will make a difference for your future, for what you want to do, even if you really don't know what you want to do. If you want to do with us, I believe most of you might be from the US, we have here in our learning sessions, e-learning sessions, where we can teach coding using Scratch, Minecraft, 3D designing using Roblox or Blender. If you want something more, advanced, we can do Python. We can do Unity, all right? This is all, again, online. You pick the time. We will have a conversation just to understand how the parents want the children to learn. And then we create a plan. Parent approves. We schedule a time, and we will teach you the best way we can. If you're in Canada, in Calgary, then we have our 101 learning sessions. You come to our office, and we teach you all. If you're still in Canada and you're looking for summer camps here, we have our summer camps webpage, and we have over 30 teams, all iSteam based, all pretty cool. And if you're interested in seeing a little bit more, we have our free coding class every 15 days that you can sign up for and learn a little bit of Scratch. Okay, usually those Scratch, I am the one who does it, and those are very basic because the audience doesn't know Scratch. But if you want to learn how to do another project, feel free to join in. All right. Pritam, if you live in US, in the America, then your best bet will be our learning sessions here and our e-learning session. Okay. It's basically you and me on a computer, or you and one of my educators teaching you how to code, how to do a virtual reality, or how to do 3D designing. And if your parents want like a more theoretical approach, we can definitely do that. I currently am teaching a 6-year-old every Saturday and Sunday about basics of medicine, because according to the mom, the child wants to be a doctor. So I am nourishing that doctor dream. All right. I will share with you guys this website here in case you want to share with your parents. And that's it for me. My time is done. I hope you guys enjoyed, and sorry that I talked too much. If you have any questions as well, here's my email. And if you want to get to know the company a little bit better, learn about us, here is our website. Hope you guys enjoyed. Have a beautiful day. Bye, Tulia. Bye, Pritam. Bye, Ashley. Bye, Zoe. Bye, Arian. Lucia Chavez asked me if I am a teacher from a school. No. Coded Minds is like an independent kind of an organization that actually helps schools. Bye, Hai. Bye, Lucia. Ooh, that's a tough one. Tejasvi. I hope I did that right. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.